press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children, subject social science, topic integration of Karnataka and border disputes, class 7. Okay, in this class we study about integration of Karnataka and border disputes. Okay, Karnataka has a history 2000 years, isn't it? Kannadigas have lived under various political systems after the fall of Vijayanagara Empire. What happened in Karnataka children? The territories of Kannada speaking parts were ruled by Maratha, Peshwas, different Palegaras, Sultans, Nawabs and British, and spread over 20 different administrative units. Okay, as a result, Kannadigas experienced a sense of alienation in their own land. Okay, the different stages of integration of Karnataka, the different stages of stages of integration of Karnataka are explained in this lesson. Okay, and then also ongoing border disputes are also discussed in this lesson. Okay, in this class we study about the background and the important stages of the Karnataka integration movement. Okay, and then we study about the border disputes that emerged after 1956 and suggest solution for them. Okay, now we study about the historical background to the historical background of integration of Karnataka. Once again listen here. Now we study about historical background of integration of Karnataka. Okay, the extent of Kannada state was from the river Kaveri to river Godavari. Once again listen here children. The extent of Kannada state was from the river Kaveri. From the river Kaveri to which river children? Godavari. Okay, Godavari. The extent of Kannada state was from the river Kaveri to from the river Kaveri to river Godavari. Okay, as explained in Kaviraja Marga. Okay, according to Kaviraja Marga, what children? The extent of Kannada state from Kaveri river to which river? Godavari river. Okay, this land was ruled by many Kannada dynasties, isn't it? Many Kannada dynasties ruled this land. After the fall of Vijayanagara Empire, what happened? Kannada speaking regions, after the decline of the Vijayanagara Empire or after the fall of Vijayanagara Empire, Kannada speaking regions had to undergo various shifts in political systems, isn't it? After the death of Tipu Sultan, the Kannada speaking regions were distributed. After the death of Tipu Sultan, what happened children? The Kannada regions were distributed, okay, among 20 administrative divisions. How many divisions? Among 20 administrative divisions of different languages. And then Kannadigas had to feel alienated under the rule of Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad. By enduring all these hardships, Kannadigas fought hard to get united under one state and one administration. Understood why Kannadigas fought children? Because they wanted hard to get united under one state and one administration. Okay, they started so many Kannada movements, so many integration. They started integration Karnataka integration movement. This struggle is called as Karnataka integration movement. Understood? Once again listen here. Karnataka regions, what happened? Distributed. Okay, after the death of Tipu Sultan, what happened in Karnataka, children? The Kannada regions were distributed. Okay, that's why by enduring all these hardships, Kannadigas fought hard to get united one state. Get united under one state and one administration. This struggle is called Karnataka integration movement. Understood, children? So many Kannadigas, they started the Karnataka integration movement because they wanted they get united under one state and one administration in Karnataka. That's why they started movement. It is called Karnataka integration movement. Understood, children? What is Karnataka integration movement? So some Kannadigas, they fought, they wanted to get united under the one state and one administration. That's why they started integration, Karnataka integration movement. They started a movement. It is called Karnataka integration movement. Understood? Yes. Next, the early steps for integration. The early steps for integration were put forward by the people of Bombay Karnataka region, Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha, Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha. When established in 1819, Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha, Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha. Started in which year, children? Sangha started in 1890. Okay. This listen here. The early steps for integration were put forward by the Bombay Karnataka, people of Bombay Karnataka region, Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha, established in which year? 1890. Okay. Under the chairmanship of, who was the chairman of Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha? R.H. Deshpande. He was the chairman of Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha. Okay. Once again, listen here. R.H. Deshpande. R.H. Deshpande. R.H. Deshpande, he was the chairman of Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha. Okay. This institution or organization started in 1890 under the chairmanship of R.H. Deshpande, provided the institutional shape to the dream of integration. Okay. Who provided the institutional shape to the dream of integration, children? R.H. Deshpande. Okay. Once again, listen here. Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha established in which year? 1820. Who was the chairman of Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha? R.H. Deshpande. He provided the institutional shape to the dream of integration. Okay. Next, Kannada Sahitya Parishad. Kannada Sahitya Parishad was established in which year? 1915. Next, another institutions started or established, that is Kannada organization, Kannada Sahitya Parishad. Kannada Sahitya Parishad started in which year? 1915. Okay. In Kannada Sahitya Parishad was started in was established in 1915. In which place? Bengaluru. Okay. Kannada Sahitya Parishad was established in 1915 in Bengaluru. It aimed, what is the aim of this institution or organization? It aimed at facilitating the progress of Kannada language and literature, okay, and also aiding the integration of Kannada speaking regions, Karnataka Ekikarana Sabha, and then Karnataka Ekikarana Sabha was started in Dharwad in 1916. We later Karnataka Ekikarana Sabha was started. Next, Karnataka Ekikarana Sabha was started in Dharwad in which year? 1960. These organizations continued the struggle for integration of Karnataka. They started movements of integration of Karnataka. Okay, for example, listen here. The first one is Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha. It is established in 1890, isn't it? It was established in which year, children? 1890. Who was the chairman of this organization? R.H. Deshpande. Okay, and then we see here organization Kannada Sahitya Parishad also established in which year? 1915. And later Karnataka Ekikarana Sabha also established in which year? 1916. These organizations continued the struggle for integration of Karnataka. Understood? Okay, in the National Convention of India, in the National Convention of Indian National Congress at Belagavi, held at Belagavi in which year? 1924. In this session, in this convention, what happened? National Convention, Huilgoda Narayan Rao formally initiated the process of Karnataka integration process by singing Udayavagali Namma Chaluva Kannada Nadu. Okay, it means what? Let our Kannada land be arisen. Okay, arisen. As a welcome song, Gandhiji, who was the president of the convention, extended his support to integration movement of Karnataka. The integration movement worked in favor of freedom movement during that period. Okay, once again, listen here. What happened, children? After the death of Tipu Sultan, what happened? The British transferred the Kannada areas to the control of political powers with the different languages, isn't it? Kannadigas experienced the suffering of being forced to live under the Marathas, Nizams, etc. with a feeling of alienated, isn't it? Kannadigas started a movement in order to escape from such a situation and built their own state and own administration. To have their own administration. That's why they started. The movement is called Karnataka Integration Movement. Understood? What is integration movement, or what is integration movement means what, children? The Kannadigas, Kannadigas, they started a movement. They wanted their own state and their own state to have their own administration. That's why started a movement. It is called integration movement. Okay, and then the first call for integration was given by the people of Mumbai, Karnataka. Okay, the Karnataka Vidyavardhaka Sangha started in which year? 1890. Okay, under the chairmanship of who? R.H. Deshpande. And then organization. He gave the organizational form for the concept of integration. And then in the Congress session of 1924 at Belagavi, Huilgoda Narayan Rao gave the needed impute us to the integration movement by singing a welcome song, Udayavagali Namma Chaluva Kannada Nadu. Okay, in order to collect funds for the Kannada Sahitya Sammelana, poet Shanta Kavi went singing from door to door and collect money. Kuvempu's poem Jai He Karnataka Mate Mettuva Nela Ade Karnataka touched the hearts of lakhs of people. The hearts of lakhs of people touched the hearts of lakhs of people. Huilgoda Narayan Rao's poem Udayavagali Namma Chaluva Kannada Nadu became very popular. More than half of a century, dream of integration became a reality only after the country's independence, the two in three stages. Which are these? Okay, now we study about role of newspaper and literature in the integration movement. Newspapers like Vishwa Karnataka, Nava Karnataka, Vagbhushana, Jaya Karnataka, Samyukta Karnataka, and so many other magazines motivated people for the integration. These newspapers motivated the people, okay, for the integration. These were getting published from different regions. Apart from them, various literary work also motivated the people. Okay, Aluru Venkataraya is the senior most person who worked for the integration. He worked for the integration. He worked for the integration of Karnataka. He had exclaimed, on seeing the sorry of plight of Kannadigas as, oh no, where is Karnataka? Who would stitch the torn away parts of Karnataka into one? Do they have really such pride in them? Who asked these questions, children? Aluru Venkataraya. Okay, the aim of Aluru Venkataraya was to communicate the glory and richness of Kannada language and land to its members. Okay, he wrote a book titled Karnataka Gata Vaibhava. Who wrote this book, children? Aluru Venkataraya, and he wrote a book he titled Karnataka Gata Vaibhava. Okay, the past glory of Karnataka, and he published by using his own money. Okay, using his own money, it was a motivational book. Which was the motivational book? Karnataka Gata Vaibhava, written by Aluru Venkataraya. It was a motivational book. The Kannadigas of Hyderabad, Karnataka honored him and gave him the title Kannada Kula Prohita. Okay, he got the title Kannada Kula Prohita by the Hyderabad, Karnataka people. Okay, the Kannadigas of Hyderabad, Karnataka honored Aluru Venkataraya and gave him the title Kannada Kula Purohita. And then the high priest, it means what? The high priest of Kannada clan. Shantakavi played an important role in motivating the people of Bombay, Karnataka. He collected money to organize Kannada literary convention. Okay, and the tradition of Dasa who sought alms in the name of God by declaring, here is Kannada Dasa who is seeking alms for Kannada, kindly donate without delay. The poems like Jaya He Karnataka Mate and Nee Mettu Annala Ade Karnataka, the land that you stand on is Karnataka. Okay, written by Kuvempu. It touched the heart of numerous Kannadigas. Kayyara Kiyannarai fought for the integration of Kasargudu with Karnataka till his last breath. Many other poets, writers, literatures, journalists motivated Kannadigas to get united. Okay, post-independence integration moment. The dream of integration that started half of a century ago became reality only in post-independent India in 3 stages. Okay, first stages, independent India in 3 stages. Once again listen here, the dream of integration that started half a century ago became reality only in post-independent India in 3 stages. First stage is stage 1. It began between 1947 to 48. Before independence, there were 2 types political regions or political establishments in India. Okay, which are these? The first one is the British provinces. And second one is princely states. How many princely states? during that period 462 princely states. The Constituent Assembly, instead of structuring the states on the lines of language, divided India to 4 units, namely A, B, C and D. Okay, based on this division, the 20 administrative divisions of Karnataka were redistributed into 5 categories mentioned above. Mysuru, Bombay, Madras, Hyderabad and Kodagu were the 5 units. The first step towards integration was achieved through this. It means the first stage 1947 to 48, according to this, the 22 administrative provinces of Karnataka were reorganized into 5 divisions. Okay, these 5 divisions were Mumbai, Madras, Mysore, Hyderabad and Coorg. Second stage, in first stage we see 5 administrative divisions: Mysuru, Bombay, Madras, Hyderabad and Kodagu. Okay. Next, stage 2, 1953, the universal election. The universal election for the Indian Parliament was held in which year? 1951 to 1952. Okay, after the elections, a radical-minded organization, Akhanda Karnataka Rajya Nirmana Parishad, was founded in which year? 1952. Okay, after the election, universal election for the Indian Parliament was held in 1951 to 52. After the elections, what happened? A radical-minded organization established. Which was this? Akhanda Karnataka Rajya Nirmana Parishad was founded in 1952. It organized a satyagraha pressing for the integration of Karnataka, and more than 5,000 people quoted, imprisoned, arrested. Kengal Hanumantaya and S. Nijalingappa toured throughout the state and spoke in support of integration movement. When the state of Andhra was created, 7 taluks of Ballari district were enriched with Mysuru state. This is the stage 2 of integration process. In 1952, an Andhra leader, Potti Sriramulu, demanded integration of Andhra province and went on a fast for 58 days. How many days? 58 days, and he died. There were widespread riots in Andhra. After Sri Ramulu's death, Prime Minister Nehru declared the decision of the central government to create the state of Andhra. Accordingly, Andhra state was formed in which year? 1953. When Andhra state was formed, children? Andhra state was formed in 1953. Next, third stage or final stage, 1956. After the creation of Andhra Pradesh, the demand for reorganizing regions based on language grew more. Okay. After the creation of Andhra Pradesh, what happened, children? The demand for reorganizing regions based on languages grew more. Day by day grew more. The central government formed a commission that is called State Reorganizing Commission to give a report on this issue. It was chaired by S. Fazal Ali, and hence it is called as Fazal Ali Commission. Okay, by H.N. Khunjru and K.M. Panikkar were its members. The commission presented its report in which year? 1956. The organization of states took place based on the language and the ease of administration. All the political parties accepted the report of Fazal Ali Commission, but they also opposed the move to merge Kasargodu with Kerala and some taluks of Ballari with Andhra Pradesh. The central government accepted the report of the state reorganizing Commission, the Vishala Mysuru state came into existence of November 1st, 1956. The integrated Mysuru state had the following district. Once again listen here children, the Vishala Mysuru state came into existence which November 1st. November 1st, 1956. What happened? The Vishala Mysuru state came into existence November 1st, 1956. The integrated Mysuru state had the following districts. Old Mysuru states, 10 districts. Mysuru, Mandya, Bengaluru, Kolar, Hassan, Tumkuru, Chikamagaluru, Shivamogga, Chitradurga. Okay, from Bombay region, Belagavi, Dharwad, Vijayapur or Bijapura, Uttara Kannada. Okay, from Hyderabad region, Gulbarga, Raichur and Bidar, Gulbarga or Kalburgi. And then from Madras region, Dakshina Kannada, Kollegal, Taluk, Ballari, joined when Andhra was formed during 1953. Sea state, Kodagu. Okay. Totally 19 districts were there. Present today, there are how many districts children? 31 districts. 31 districts. The Indian state of Karnataka consists of 31 districts grouped into 4 administrative divisions. Okay, Karnataka Rajyotsava or Kannada Rajyotsava or Kannada Day, also known as Karnataka Formation Day or Karnataka Day, is celebration 1st November of every year. This was the day 1956 when all the Kannada language speaking, all the Kannada language speaking regions of South India were merged to from the state of Karnataka. S. Nijalingappa became the first chief minister of Vishala Mysuru. Who was the first chief minister of Vishala Mysuru? S. Nijalingappa. He was the first chief minister of Vishala Mysuru state. Later, when D. Devraj Aras became the chief minister, when Devraj Aras became the chief minister of Karnataka, chief minister of Mysuru state, he renamed Mysuru state as Karnataka. Who renamed Mysuru state as Karnataka children? Devraj Aras. Devraj Aras. The chief minister D. Devaraja Aras. Devaraja Aras, when he became the chief minister of Vishala Mysuru state, he renamed Mysuru state as Karnataka on November 1st, 1973 and November 1st, 1973. Okay, once again listen here. Who was the first chief minister of Vishala Mysuru? S. Nijalingappa. He was the first chief minister of Vishala Mysuru state. Okay, and later what happened? When D. Devraj Aras became the chief minister of Mysuru state, he renamed the Mysuru state as Karnataka in November 1st, 1973. Okay, November 1st, 1973. Understood children? Yes. Once again, listen here. You already see the first stage, second stage after the general elections, extremist minded party Integral Karnataka State Creation Parishad emerged 1952, isn't it? This party staged satyagraha for the integration and about 5,000 people imprisoned. The chief minister of those days, Kunigal Hanumantaya, supported this integration movement, isn't it? In final stage 1956, what happened? The central government appointed a committee, that is Fazal Ali committee, isn't it? The committee appointed a committee called State Reorganization Committee to give a report. Okay, the president of committee was Fazal Ali and the committee was called Fazal Ali Committee also. Okay, this committee gave its report in which year? 1956. Accordingly, the reorganization of state was based on the languages. Based on the language and the convenience of administration. All the parts accepted and respected the committee report, and then the integrated Karnataka state came into existence on November 1st, 1956 in the name of Vishala Mysuru state, isn't it? Once again, the Vishala Mysuru state came into existence on November 1st, 1956. S. Nijalingappa was the first chief minister of Vishala Mysuru state, formed in 1956, and November 1st, 1973, then the chief minister Devraj Aras, he renamed the Mysuru state as Karnataka state. Who renamed? Devraj Aras. In which year? November 1st, 1973. Okay. Since the national level itself, formation of state based on their languages was done, Kannadigas or some areas had to suffer injustice. Though they were a majority as their area had been merged with a state of another language, they became a minority there, isn't it? However, the authority to settle these matters rest with the central government. Among these, what happened? Akkalkote, South Solapur and Jat taluks are very important. But the main struggle is being fought for Belagavi city. The Maharashtra government has been bringing pressure to make Belagavi its territory. Okay, and then the main dispute here is regarding the Kasaragodu area. Historically, Kasaragodu was under the region of the Kannada kings. Okay, Kasaragodu, which is culturally harmonious with Karnataka, is caught in a dilemma. The main reason for this, it is a recommendation of the state reorganization commission to merge Kasaragod with Kerala. Many organizations including Karnataka committee and others were formed to protect against this decision. It means we already learned border disputes also. Okay. Once again, since the organization of the states based on languages was done at national level perspective, many Kannadigas living on the borders had to suffer injustice. Though they were majority in numbers, they had to become a minority, isn't it? As they were integrated with other language region, Kasaragod of Kerala, Alur, Advani, Adavani, Madakhashira and Rayadurga taluks of Andhra Pradesh, Hosuru and Talavadi of Tamil Nadu, and then Chandagarh, Solapur, Jatha and Akkalakote of Maharashtra, though had Kannada speaking majority, had to remain out of Karnataka. Okay, hence the pro-Kannada activities and the government of Karnataka are still fighting for their inclusion into Karnataka. The major border dispute are with the states of Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. There is need for working towards a solution for these disputes. Here we see dispute between Karnataka, Maharashtra and Kerala. The central government had formed a one-member commission. Okay, Shri Mahajan, a retired Supreme Court. He was a retired Supreme Court judge. As chairperson in 1965, the commission conducted exclusive surveys in disputes area belonging to all three states and presented its report. In the report, it said that Akkalakote and Jatha of Maharashtra, Kasaragod of Kerala should go to Karnataka. Understood? And Nippani, Kannapur, Halyala should go to Maharashtra. As Maharashtra was expecting more area, it is opposing this report. Since its submission. Okay, as a result, the border dispute has remained unsolved and still remains with the central government. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಿರಬಹುದು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಚಳುವಳಿಗಳು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಮತ್ತು ಗಡಿ ವಿವಾದಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಚಾರಿತ್ರಿಕ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಏಕೀಕರಣದ ಚಾರಿತ್ರಿಕ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ ಕವಿರಾಜ ಮಾರ್ಗ ಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾಡು ಕಾವೇರಿಯಿಂದ ಗೋದಾವರಿಯವರೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಇತ್ತು ಎಂದು ಆ ಕವಿರಾಜ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಣಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಅನೇಕ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರಸು ಮನೆತನಗಳು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, ಈ ಭಾಗವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆಳಿದವೆ. ಆದರೆ ವಿಜಯನಗರ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಪತನದ ನಂತರ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾಡು, ಕನ್ನಡ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳು ಏನಾಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ಅವು ಹಂಚಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಛಿದ್ರವಾಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ಮೇಲುಗೈ ಸಾಧಿಸಿದ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮತ್ತು ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದವೆ, ಗೌಣವಾಗಿಸಿದವೆ. ಟಿಪ್ಪುವಿನ ಮರಣದ ನಂತರವೂ ಕೂಡ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಕನ್ನಡ ಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನಾಡುವ ಅನೇಕ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಭಾಷಿಕ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 20 ಆಡಳಿತಾತ್ಮಕ ಘಟಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಂಚಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು ಮರಾಠ, ನಿಜಾಮರ ಮುಂತಾದವರ ಅಧೀನದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಕೀಯರ ಭಾವನೆಯಿಂದ ಬದುಕುವ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯತೆಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಎದುರಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂತಹ ಪ್ರತಿಕೂಲ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶಗಳಿಂದ ಹೊರಬಂದ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ರಾಜ್ಯವನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಿಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದೇ ಆಡಳಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲು, ಒಂದೇ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಒಂದೇ ಆಡಳಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲು ಬಯಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದೇ ಆಡಳಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲು ಹೋರಾಟಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ರಾಜ್ಯವನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಿಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಆಡಳಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲು ಹೋರಾಟವನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದೇ ಹೋರಾಟವನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಚಳುವಳಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಏಕೀಕರಣದ ಆರಂಭಿಕ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಟವರು ಯಾರು? ಮುಂಬೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಭಾಗದ ಜನರು. RH ದೇಶಪಾಂಡೆಯವರ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 1890ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆರಂಭವಾದ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿದ್ಯಾವರ್ಧಕ ಸಂಘ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಗೆ ಸಾಂಸ್ಥಿಕ ರೂಪವನ್ನು ಅದು ನೀಡುತ್ತೆ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಪರಿಷತ್ತು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆಯಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅನೇಕ ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಳು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಚಳುವಳಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. 1924ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಗಾವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಧಿವೇಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಯಿಲ್ಗೊಳ ನಾರಾಯಣರಾವ್ ಅವರು ಉದಯವಾಗಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಚೆಲುವ ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾಡು ಎಂಬ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಗೀತೆಯನ್ನು ಹಾಡುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಚಳುವಳಿಗೆ ಅವರೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಂಚಲನವನ್ನು ತಂದುಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಈ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿದ್ದ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಯವರು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಏಕೀಕರಣಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಬಲವನ್ನು ಅವರು ನೀಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಚಳುವಳಿಯು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಚಳುವಳಿಯ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಅದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಚಳವಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪತ್ರಿಕೆಗಳ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯದ ಪಾತ್ರವು ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬನೇ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯದ ನಂತರದ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಚಳವಳಿ ಹೇಗೆ ನಡೀತು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಧ ಶತಮಾನಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಾಲಾವಧಿಯ ಏಕೀಕರಣದ ಕನಸು ನನಸಾದುದು ದೇಶ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಗಳಿಸಿದ ಅನಂತರವೇ. ಅದು 3 ಹಂತಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಹೇಗೆ? ಮೊದಲನೇ ಹಂತ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಶಕೆ 1947ರಿಂದ 48ರವರೆಗೂ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಬಗೆಯ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳು ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಅಂದರೆ 1947ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಬಗೆಯ ನಾವು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಭಾರತದ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಿದ್ವಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅರಸೊತ್ತಿಗೆಯ ಸಾಂಸ್ಥಾನಿಕ 562 ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಸಭೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಭಾರತವನ್ನ ಭಾಷಾವಾರು ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯಗಳಾಗಿ ಅದು ರೂಪಿಸಿದೆ. ಭಾರತವನ್ನ 4 ಬಗೆಯ ಆಡಳಿತ ಘಟಕಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅದು ವಿಂಗಡಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅವೇ ABC ಮತ್ತು ಡಿ ಘಟಕಗಳು. ಅದರಂತೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ 20 ಆಡಳಿತ ಘಟಕಗಳನ್ನು 5 ಘಟಕಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪುನರ್ ವಿಂಗಡಣೆ ಮಾಡಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಯಾವುದು? ಮುಂಬೈ, ಮಡ್ರಾಸ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೈಸೂರು, ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕೊಡಗು. ಇದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಏಕೀಕರಣದ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲನೆಯ ಹಂತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡನೆಯ ಹಂತ ಯಾವಾಗ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಶಕೆ 1953ರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡನೆಯ ಹಂತ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 1951ರಿಂದ 52ರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಕಸಭೆಗೆ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಸಾರ್ವತ್ರಿಕ ಚುನಾವಣೆ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರದ ನಂತರ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಸಿಕ್ಕ ನಂತರ 1951-52ರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಕಸಭೆಗೆ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಸಾರ್ವತ್ರಿಕ ಚುನಾವಣೆಗಳು ನಡೀತವೆ. ಚುನಾವಣೆಯ ನಂತರ ಉಗ್ರ ಚಳುವಳಿಯ ಮನೋಭಾವದ ಅಖಂಡ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಪರಿಷತ್ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಎಂಬ ಪಕ್ಷ ಉದಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ 1957 1952ರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪಕ್ಷ ಏಕೀಕರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಸತ್ಯಾಗ್ರಹವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸುತ್ತೆ. ಸುಮಾರು 5,000 ಜನ ಬಂಧಿತರಾಗಿ ಸೆರೆಮನೆಯನ್ನು ಅವರು ಸೇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಂಗಲ್ ಹನುಮಂತಯ್ಯ, ಎಸ್ ನಿಜಲಿಂಗಪ್ಪ ಇವರುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಏಕೀಕರಣಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವರು ಹೋರಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ನಾವು ಕೊನೆಯ ಹಂತ, ಮೂರನೇ ಹಂತ, ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ರಚನೆ ಆದ ನಂತರ, ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ರಚನೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ರಚನೆ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಭಾಷೆಯ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯ ಪುನರ್ವಿಂಗಡಣೆಯ ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ತೀವ್ರಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯ ಪುನರ್ವಿಂಗಡಣೆಯ ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ತೀವ್ರಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರವು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ವಿಂಗಡಣೆಯನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ವರದಿಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಲು ಒಂದು ಸಮಿತಿ, ರಾಜ್ಯ ಪುನರ್ವಿಂಗಡಣಾ ಆಯೋಗವನ್ನು ಅದು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಎಸ್ ಫಜಲ್ ಆಲಿ ವಹಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಫಜಲ್ ಆಲಿ ಆಯೋಗ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಕರೆಯಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ ಇತರ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಎನ್ ಕುಂಜ್ರು ಮತ್ತು KM ಫಣಿಕ್ಕರ್. ಈ ಆಯೋಗವು 1955ರಲ್ಲಿ ವರದಿಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಂತೆ ಭಾರತದ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ಪುನರ್ವಿಂಗಡಣೆಯು ಭಾಷೆ ಮತ್ತು ಆಡಳಿತದ ಅನುಕೂಲದ ನೆಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ನಾಡಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಕ್ಷಗಳು ಆಯೋಗದ ವರದಿಯನ್ನು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸ್ತವೆ, ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಆದರೆ ಕಾಸರಗೂಡನ್ನ ಕೇರಳ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಜನರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಕೆಲವು ತಾಲೂಕುಗಳನ್ನು ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿಸುವ ಕುರಿತು ಮಾಡಿದ ಸಲಹೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು ಏಕಕಂಠದಿಂದ ಅವರು ಪ್ರತಿಭಟಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ವರದಿಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಈ ವರದಿಯನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಕಾಸರಗೂಡನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೇರಳ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಕೆಲವು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಕೆಲವು ತಾಲೂಕುಗಳನ್ನು ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿಸುವ ಕುರಿತು ಮಾಡಿದ ಸಲಹೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಏಕಕಂಠದಿಂದ ಅದರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಭಟಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರವು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಪುನರ್ವಿಂಗಡಣಾ ಆಯೋಗದ ವರದಿಯನ್ನು ಒಪ್ಪಿದ್ದರಿಂದ 1956 ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ 1ರಂದು ವಿಶಾಲ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ? 1956 ನವೆಂಬರ್ 1ರಂದು ವಿಶಾಲ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಏಕೀಕೃತಗೊಂಡ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕೆಳಕಂಡ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದು? ಹಳೆ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯ ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬೊಂಬಾಯಿ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯ, ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯ, ಮದ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯ, ಸಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ, ಕೊಡಗು. ಓಕೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, 1956ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏಕೀಕೃತ ವಿಶಾಲ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಆ ವಿಶಾಲ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಎಸ್ ನಿಜಲಿಂಗಪ್ಪನವರು ಪ್ರಥಮ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರ ನಂತರ ಮುಂದೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾದ, ಅಂದರೆ 1956ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏಕೀಕೃತ ವಿಶಾಲ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಎಸ್ ನಿಜಲಿಂಗಪ್ಪನವರು ಪ್ರಥಮ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಮುಂದೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಡಿ ದೇವರಾಜ್ ಅರಸರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, 1973 ನವೆಂಬರ್ 1ರಂದು ಅವರು ವಿಶಾಲ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಎಂದು ನಾಮಕರಣವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದಿನಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ವಿಶಾಲ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಯಾವಾಗ ದೇವರಾಜ್ ಅರಸರವರು ಈ ವಿಶಾಲ ಮೈಸೂರಿನ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೇಮಕ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು 1973 ನವೆಂಬರ್ 1ರಂದು ಅವರು ವಿಶಾಲ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಎಂದು ಮರುನಾಮಕರಣವನ್ನು ಅವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದಿನಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಗಡಿ ವಿವಾದಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನದಲ್ಲೇ ಭಾಷಾವಾರು ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯಗಳ ರಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಗಡಿ ಭಾಗದ ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು ಅನ್ಯಾಯಕ್ಕೊಳಗಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಭಾಷಿಕವಾಗಿ ಬಹುಸಂಖ್ಯಾತರಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಬೇರೆ ಭಾಷಿಕ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಸೇರ್ಪಡೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿನ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಅಲ್ಪಸಂಖ್ಯಾತರಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸಂಘರ್ಷ, ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಗಡಿ ವಿವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಬಹುದು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ, ಕೇರಳಗಳ ನಡುವಿನ ಗಡಿ ವಿವಾದವು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ.